This is a mini lesson that is focusing on how to envision a topic to write in science fiction. Today we're going to go back to our anchor chart where we described different characteristics found in science fiction. So we said that fiction is a text that is not true, it's unrealistic, it includes science, technology, or outer space, and sometimes could seem possible but only in the future or outer space. So today we are going to begin planning our own writing using science fiction elements, and we are going to learn how to use a strategy to help us come up with a specific topic to write about. So one of the ways that we can get ready to write is to close our eyes and think about images that we see in the story. So we're going to talk about different examples and characteristics that are found in science fiction and how it can both be realistic and unrealistic. So today we're going to start by reading the story First Graders from Mars, Episode 1, Horace's Horrible Day. And this story is by Shayna Corey. It was a quiet day on Mars. A dust storm swirled across the ground. A volcano blew purple gas in the distance. Suddenly, a flying cup streaked across the sky. It spun to a stop and landed in a canyon. Creak! It hatched open. Something or someone climbed out. It was Horace. "Are you sure you don't want me to walk with you?" asked Horace's mom. "Mom," said Horace, "I'm a first grader. I am not a baby." "Okay," said Horace's mom. She stretched out her lips and kissed Horace goodbye. She left a red suction mark. Horace rubbed the mark off his forehead, then he headed into Mariner Valley Elementary School. He followed the twisty canyon paths until he found Pod 1. Nurgle, a friend from Martian Garden, was already inside. Nurgle waved his tentacles. Horace waved his back. The teacher floated over. She had eyes in the back of her head and in the front and on the sides. "Meep, meep," she said. "I am your teacher, Mrs. Vortex." "Oip, oip," answered Horace. "I am Horace." Miss Vortex gave Horace a name tag, then she showed him his thinking capsule. Horace couldn't wait to get started. "Where is the slime table?" he asked. "Where are the snooze mats? Where are the snacks?" The girl Horace didn't know giggled. Her name tag said Tara. "This isn't Martian Garden anymore," she said. "First graders are too big for those things." Horace's tentacles dropped. No slime table? No snooze mats? No snacks? Before Horace could say anything, Miss Vortex clapped her tentacles together. "Okay, Martians," she said, "let's get to work." Horace couldn't believe it. In Martian Garden, there was no work until at least the third day. The rest of the day didn't get any better. In reading, Horace was in the beta group. Tara and Nurgle were both in the alpha group. "Alphas are much brighter," said Tara. In art, Horace drew a self-portrait. "It doesn't look like you," said Tara. "Maybe you should make it a little lumpier." There was no morning snack, so by lunchtime Horace was starving. He was in such a hurry to eat that he slurped his soup up the wrong tentacle. "Grobus," said Tara. Everyone except Nurgle laughed. Horace felt horrible. After lunch, Horace was very tired, but there was no snooze time in first grade. "Let's work on our numbers," said Miss Vortex. 4 plus 2, she called out. 5 plus 3. Everyone rushed to form the right answers. Horace was so sleepy that he accidentally got stuck on 8. After numbers, everyone ran outside for recess. On the way, Horace peeked inside the Martian Garden room. The Martian gardeners were hopping around making animal sounds. "Glump, glump," they said. "Milo, Milo," those were the days, thought Horace sadly. So we're going to stop there, and we're going to look back in our text to find some of those elements of science fiction. So if I turn back to the first page, I can reread the first sentence, and it says, "It was a quiet day on Mars." So we can already see that one element of science fiction is that this book is based on Horace that is coming from Mars. It also says a volcano blew purple gas in the distance. So we can also tell that volcanoes don't really blow purple gas, and that could be also an element of science fiction. We can also discuss that Horace was now a first grader, but he came from Martian Garden. So they are comparing Horace as a first grader to also humans in kindergarten. So that makes it science fiction. And that's where we talked a little bit about our connection and how it can have both realistic and unrealistic characteristics. We know that Horace is a Martian, so that's fiction, but they're trying to portray him as a human. So they're trying to make it seem like it could be possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to practice closing our eyes and thinking about the story and what really comes to our mind whenever we close our eyes. So take a second and close your eyes and see what you're thinking about and what pictures come to mind. All right, so as a class, we are going to use what we envision by closing our eyes to draw a class picture and to illustrate what we remember and what we see from the story. So right now I want you to turn and talk to your partner and discuss what other parts of the story we could add to our class picture. So we started our drawing and now we need to add details and put more pictures in our drawing. All right, so before we begin, we can start by envisioning a picture in our mind to help us add details to our writing and drawings. So, before you start writing, we always need to get a picture in our mind and think about a topic that we can write about. So today, before you go back to your seats, I want you to close your eyes and try to envision a topic that you can write about in your journal today. All right, let's go off and write and start our drafts.